One of the key issues that both publishers and authors face is the introduction of parallel importation rules. Sarah Runcie from the Australian Publishers Association explains why parallel importation is not only unwanted but unnecessary.
It has been in the past an issue for the public because it has been seen as a reason for price and availability problems in the Australian market. But as current data shows, there isn't a price and availability problem in the Australian market. So parallel importation rules are basically an intervention in the market that removes a certain kind of risk for publishers. Now, risk is important in the industry because risk, when it is too high, means that there isn't investment. So the removal of parallel importation rules, which is one of the recommendations of the Productivity Commission, is a problem for the publishing industry because it changes the risk profile of investing in Australian stories.
To reiterate the point Sarah has made, the heightening of risk is critical as authors and publishers are pressured to play it safe. We will see a reduction in creativity, hence resulting in a decline in possibly successful and influential Australian literature. The Australian Publishers Association provides evidence of this by analysing the effect parallel importation had in New Zealand. They state that the range of books sold has fallen in New Zealand and expanded in Australia, and publishers have disinvested and capital has been withdrawn from New Zealand. Jackie Dent from the Australian Society of Authors expands upon this.
This legislation was brought in New Zealand, I think, in early 2000, and what we saw there was a contraction of the New Zealand publishing industry. So there were less new publishers in New Zealand, and they were publishing less New Zealand books and also less international books. So what we've actually seen is New Zealand books become more expensive, and there be less choice not only in books authored by New Zealanders, but in terms of New Zealanders having access to international literature. Now in Canada, they actually recently made a change to their copyright exceptions. They have a series of exceptions similar to ours called fair dealing. And they made a small change to the wording of that law that widened it out for educational use. And what we've seen as a result of that is a 98% reduction in publication of Canadian educational materials within Canada. So we are very concerned that we're going to see similar changes here. Fewer Australian educational texts, fewer Australian books of trade, literature and non-fiction, and also possibly more expensive books, less availability for consumers.